Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Enrique and Today FM rocks here in Tavua.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilay Tiambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks here in Osur.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, Pacific leadership on climate change commended. UNSG praises Fiji's peacekeeping contributions. And Minister apologises for anomalies in police back pay.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
The Pacific has the moral authority to tell the world that climate change needs to be reversed. United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres made the comments at a roundtable discussion with Pacific Island leaders. Facilitated by the Pacific Islands Forum Secretariat, the UNSG was able to meet with the heads of state and respective envoys of 14 other Pacific Island countries. Maggie Boyle reports.
We are not on track to be able to achieve our goal that I want to reaffirm. Our goal is to limit the growth of temperature to the end of the century to 1.5 degrees.
It's the reality hitting the Pacific as well as much of the world. The fight against climate change seemingly insurmountable. The UN Secretary-General in person reiterating the importance of the fight and the need to get the rest of the world on the same wave.
It's the challenge of climate change, but it's not only the Pacific that is at stake. It's the whole planet. And even the most developed countries in the world will face the dramatic impact of climate change.
The Forum Chair and President of Nauru urging world leaders that the Pacific's survival is dependent on their actions.
Act for all of us. Act for our children and their children. Act for our future.
The President also noting that more needs to be done at a regional level.
Multilateralism must be effective, and we must do better at orientating our collective effort towards action.
Meanwhile, the Pacific, the UNSG notes, has examples the world can learn from in their climate proofing. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Meanwhile, the UN Secretary-General says the Pacific region is on the front line of climate change and are important allies in the fight against it. While speaking during the interactive high-level political dialogue in Suva, Antonio Guterres says he witnessed the Pacific's leadership during the climate conference in Poland last year. Kritika Kumar reports.
Fiji's advocacy to address the damage caused by climate change has been hailed by the visiting UN Secretary-General.
United Nations is strongly committed to supporting your response to climate change and reversing the negative trends that have put your cultures and very existence at risk.
UNSG Antonio Guterres says sea level rise in some Pacific Island countries are 4 times greater than the global average.
Global emissions are reaching record levels and show no sign of peaking. The last 4 years were the hottest on record. The loss of ice in Greenland and the Antarctica is accelerating, meaning that sea levels will rise a full meter by 2100 if nothing is done to avoid it.
A few Pacific Island countries have taken enormous strides in recent years and are looking to achieve 100% renewable energy systems within a decade.
Meanwhile, 2019 Climate Action Summit that will be hosted by the UN will give countries an opportunity to scale up their pledges to reduce carbon emissions. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
Fijians are well known for their determination and courage in international peacekeeping operations. Speaking during his traditional welcome in Suva, United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres said the UN has an enormous debt of gratitude towards all Fijians, including the government. Kelly Vadala reports.
The United Nations Secretary-General arrived in the country last night and was accorded a Guard of Honor at the airport. This morning during the welcome ceremony, he said he is impressed with Fiji's rich culture.
Some have made the supreme sacrifice, protecting the most vulnerable in some of the most dangerous places of the world. And the international community and the UN have an enormous debt of gratitude towards the Fijian peacekeepers, the Fijian people, and the Fijian government.
Apart from acknowledging Fiji's contribution towards peacekeeping, the UNSG also thanked Fiji and the Pacific leaders for taking a lead role in the fight against climate change.
My deep gratitude, my enormous appreciation, and my total commitment in solidarity with the peoples of the Pacific Island states that are in the front line of the impacts of what humankind is doing to climate, is doing to the oceans, and have shown an extraordinary courage, an extraordinary resilience, and deserve a much stronger solidarity from the international community.
The ceremony this morning was attended by the Prime Minister, government officials, Pacific leaders and members of the diplomatic corps. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
And Kelly Vadala joins us live now from the Grand Pacific Hotel here in Suva. Kelly, the UN Secretary General has been in the thick of things today, reaffirming the UN's position on climate change and reiterating a call for urgent action. He's also met with leaders from the Pacific. What can we expect tomorrow?
Yes, Jackie, tomorrow the UNSG takes on a more Fiji-centric approach. He will be addressing Parliament and there will be a bilateral meeting with the Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama. He will also be paying his respects by laying a wreath at the Veuto Monument in Nasese, following which he will have an interactive session with youth activists at the University of the South Pacific before he's here for a reception to conclude the Fiji leg of his Pacific tour. Jackie, also earlier in the day, he will meet with the President, and as part of Fiji's 4 million trees in 4 years initiative, the UNSG will make his own contribution by planting a tree. Jackie.
Thanks for that, Kelly. The third Climate Action Pacific Partnership Conference has been different as it enabled a collective recognition that the impacts of climate change have intensified. Closing the meeting in Suva last night, Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama says the impacts of changing climate have intensified into a full-blown crisis, the likes of which humanity has never seen before. Ritika Pratap has more.
The Prime Minister once again reminded other countries that if we do not take action now, the climate crisis will soon escalate into chaos that will consume the entire world.
The response from the collective community of nations is that we kept pace with this rapidly worsening reality. Almost no nation, and this is particularly true for the major economies, have NDCs that are aligned with the goals of the Paris Agreement.
Bainimarama has highlighted that we in the Pacific are focused on setting an example the rest of the world can follow. He says detailed discussion on the region's unique challenges to implement nationally determined contributions have been discussed at the CAP meeting.
We need our development partners and private investors to work with us and work with those of us strengthening our NDCs in time for the UNSG summit in September. And certainly before the Paris Agreement starts next year.
The next CAP meeting will be held in the Cook Islands. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Defence Minister Nieseru Ratu has, on behalf of the police force and government, apologised to the families who were affected by the irregularities in the recent police back payout of 2015. The apology came in Parliament during a debate on the public petition to review and redress the vast anomaly present in the payout. Ali Kimbia with the story.
Defence Minister Nieseru Ratu assuring those affected that the principles of good governance are in place.
The ministry and of course the Fiji Police Force is doing its best to address this. As I've stated, unfortunate that it has happened in the past, and it reveals to us the gaps, the weaknesses that we have in place. But the opportunity is for us to look at how can we address it.
He says that the other predicament for the vast anomalies found in the payout is the absence of data to conduct the investigation. Despite the assurances, Sadelpa MP Mosesem Bolitavu says the force needs to come out clean to those affected by the issue.
And now, after all this, the police officers, some of them have received only partial of it. Most of them still have not received all. Some are sitting at the gallery today. They also have not received the full amount. And neither has the force come out clean to them.
Seri Ratu says Discussions on what resources need to be allocated is important, and the monitoring evaluation system is also needed to achieve efficiency in the service. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Still to come, Minister acknowledges discrepancies in municipal councils. And Ali dedicates win to late mom. Details after the break.
Nambula FM, nambandua ya nasere.
Oya uvasit sai sa ilambasa, ya ndo talita ina warong nambula FM nambandua ya nasere.
Guya do tumeli ako na tao no hinga toka, talita kina na warong nambula FM nambandua ya nasere.
Wana mtumea nambula FM nambandua ya nasere nawaluan.
Na evengo fanya na tao.
The Itaukei Appeals Tribunal has ruled that Ratuchone Ngomate remain the Tui Lambasa. The tribunal made their ruling today after an appeal was filed against the decision to install Ratuchone. Eleanor Tarangaivu has more.
3 weeks ago, the Itaukei Appeals Tribunal convened a hearing on an appeal filed by Ratukini Beliame Wanganitonga of the Wasavulu clan against the decision of the Native Lands and Fisheries Commission to install Ratuchone Ngomate as the Tui Lambasa. The fight for the Tui Lambasa title has been ongoing for generations between two factions of the same chiefly Wasavulu clan, the Nraunas and the Ngomates. In the appeal, Ratukini Williame is also laying claim to the Tui Lambasa title, saying it belongs to the Nrauna family as they are the direct descendants of the first Tui Lambasa, and that the Ngomate family only have maternal links to the Wasavulu clan. They claim the title was handed over to the Ngomate family based on some understanding and agreements between their elders. However, today the tribunal ruled against the claim, stating there was insufficient documentary evidence submitted, and stressed that for the provinces of Lau, the Kaunrobe and Madhuata, children can be registered into their mother's clan and have the same rights and opportunities as other clan members. Chaired by former magistrate Aminyasi Katunipoliku, the three-member tribunal has given time to the appellants to challenge their ruling.
We gave them 90 days for judicial review. When it goes to the High Court, then the High Court will only see whether we follow a procedure is fair. We heard the evidence from both sides, whether we exceeded our jurisdiction.
Tui Lambasa Ratuchone Ngomate says the ruling speaks for itself.
Evidence is already there. They just have to sift it through, the for and against the arguments. So everything has been determined in the evidence books on Tukutukurarama.
This is the second tribunal ruling to be made in relation to the dispute over the Tui Lambasa title. Eleanor Tarangaivu, FBC News.
University of Fiji student associations are calling on the school management to suspend the director of Itaukei Studies Centre, Dr. Lithiana Kurindrani, over alleged racial comments made by her. The Education Ministry says it will wait for the outcome of the investigation before it decides on further action against the academic. As Rachel Nuth reports, this call comes after Dr. Kurindrani called Uni Fiji Law Students Association President Filipe Mbainivalu an Indian dog in a heated argument over email exchanges.
The Students' Association has been engaged in a series of meetings with the top executives at the university, wanting action taken against Dr. Lithiana Kurindrani.
We had a few meetings which we proposed that she be suspended pending investigation so that she does not jeopardize the investigations.
And how was your proposal taken by the acting Vice Chancellor?
They said that they will take our issues into consideration. Let's hope for the best in the next 2 days.
The Education Minister has given her take on the issue, stating it is simply not acceptable.
We have actually instructed the University of Fiji management to look into this and establish a case. And of course they have their own disciplinary council that will be dealing with it. But all in all, as the Minister of Education, I would not expect such comments to be labelled against any student, whether it's in our primary, secondary or tertiary colleges, but in all the universities around the country.
FBC News contacted Dr. Kurindrani today, who said she has no further comments on this matter. The Fiji Human Rights and Anti-Discrimination Commission has confirmed it has received an official complaint against the academic from Bainivalu and an investigation will be carried out. Rachel Nah, FBC News.
Local Government Minister Pramila Kumar has acknowledged that there are deficiencies in the capacity of municipal councils to manage contracts. Kumar highlighted this while debating on the report of the Public Accounts Committee in Parliament yesterday. Ali Kimbia with the story.
The local government ministry has taken actions to rectify discrepancies in contracts, and all municipal councils have been instructed to build staff capacity to manage contracts.
My ministry in 2017 developed and disseminated a standard policy guideline for all municipal councils, just to ensure transparent processes and ethical practices are used when scrutinizing contractors.
Economy Minister Ayasir Kayum says there are a lot of issues within the councils, but this did not start with the Fiji First government, as they are legacy issues.
I can pick up numerous reports, some of the people who are advising you, who actually were in the Public Accounts Committee reports previously as Deputy Permanent Secretaries, when the Ministry of Agriculture decided to give people or get them into aquaculture and fish farming. They had their own farms updated whilst they were Deputy Permanent Secretaries. They should know that. Honourable Leader of Opposition should also know this, because he was the Prime Minister then.
Said Kayum says it is vital to apply the principle of open merit recruiting system into every municipal councils so that the right people are recruited for the job. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
An emotional Mirchi FM's Bam Meher Dam competition winner Muhammad Ali says he wishes his mother was still alive to see what he has achieved. While receiving his prize at the Broadcasting House today, Ali says growing up without a father from a young age and begging on the streets motivated him to keep going during the competition. Ana Ravulo tells us more.
Feels a dream come true.
Before pursuing a career in human resources, Muhammad Ali used to sell razor blades and shine shoes in the city.
He used to stay back in 1993. I remember we were renting and there was a big hurricane. I guess it was Kina in Sorry. Everything went in the flood and I just had the shorts on myself. My mom had the clothes on herself and we were homeless. We spent it at night at the tree. And remembering that and remembering this is a big impact. And I just wish she was here.
The family struggle made him a better person, and he owes it all to his mother, who passed away a year ago.
I just wish she was here with us. She would have seen this moment that finally we have a home.
It was, I think it was a bit of an emotional trip for a lot of people as well. All you have to do is to go and look at the pictures and look at the videos and you'll know how it was.
Ali plans to have his two-bedroom home worth $60,000 built in Nadi. He said for 77 hours and 46 minutes during the competition as it went on for 4 days. Ana Ravulo, FBC News.
The defense lawyer for a 36-year-old pastor facing rape charges raised concerns on the challenges faced by them while meeting their clients in the remand center. Jitendra Reddy is representing Pastor Ravinesh Chand, who is charged with 3 counts of rape, 1 count of indecent assault, and 1 count of sexual assault. Chand allegedly raped a 15-year-old student in Nausori on March 21st. He is alleged to have committed the offences on the student, who is a member of his congregation in Luvu. Reddy informed the court that it takes time to get an appointment to meet clients in the remand centre and to get proper instructions. He asked for time to go through the agreed facts. Meanwhile, the High Court will deliver Chand's bail ruling on May 29th. Later in sports with Jamie, Fijian Latui ready for Samoa, but first Rachel joins us for the latest in business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up after the break. Fiji Airways appoints Australian company for PR. And in growing Fiji, work of redeveloping Blackrock camp progresses well. Stay with us.
For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singapore. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Seni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Koroko, Singapore. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger.
Leading business tonight, Fiji Airways has appointed Australian-based Campaign Lab to develop and implement PR and integrated campaigns across Australia and New Zealand. Campaign Lab's role will include working across the airline's customer and corporate PR initiatives, as well as delivering creative campaigns to promote Fiji as a destination and Fiji Airways as the preferred carrier. Executive General Manager of Corporate Affairs Shanaz Voss says Campaign Lab's ambitious ideas reflect the new heights the airline wants to reach. Voss adds Campaign Lab's proposal and pitch demonstrated its team was not only insightful but also innovative. The Fiji Roads Authority has appointed Arif Ali as the new chair on its board. FRA Chief Executive Jonathan Moore says Ali replaces Dinesh Patel, who had come to an end of his term. Moore says Ali, who is the Reserve Bank of Fiji governor, has a wealth of experience from his leadership roles. He adds Ali's insights will help the FRA to achieve an efficient transportation network, which is crucial for national development. And we now join Sinifa from HFC Bank with the latest from the trading world.
Trade issues remain front and center of investors' minds after US and Chinese officials had said the two countries would continue to negotiate on trade. President Donald Trump insisted yesterday that trade talks with China had not collapsed and called the US-China trade war a little squabble. All this gave the US dollar a bit of support. Meanwhile, the Australian dollar gave up 0.25%, falling to its lowest since early January, ahead of the release of the Chinese data. The Aussie is often seen as a proxy for Chinese growth because of Australia's export-reliant economy and China being the country's main destination for its commodities. Market participants are now focused on data out of China and Europe to provide the latest pointers on the state of the global economy. Focus will be on the Eurozone and German gross domestic product reports and US retail sales and industrial product for April for further cues on global growth. That's all from HFC Bank for now. Vinaka.
Thanks, Anifa. Here today's exchange rates is set this morning. Days into the China-US trade war and effects are now being noticed across our dollar. The Fiji dollar has made some drops against the Chinese yuan as well as the US greenback, the kiwi and the PNG kina, while there were some gains against our trading partner Australia and the euro as well as the Japanese yen. Looking at the commodities market, the price of oil rose to close at over $61 per barrel. Gold was down at $1,295 an ounce and silver closed up at $14.78 an ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, significant progress has been made into the redevelopment of the Republic of Fiji Military Forces Black Rock Training Camp in Nadi. Following an agreement with Australia last month, the government and the RFMF have been working closely with the Australian Defence Force to ensure everything goes according to plan. Felipe Nacaso reports.
The Black Rock Training Camp holds a lot of significance not only for Fiji but the Pacific region as well.
But there's also a role that Fiji, I think, is very open to in terms of contributing to the broader region's needs. And it's not just around pre-deployment training or training in these peacekeeping areas, but it's also the role that the Black Rock Camp can contribute as a centre for regional humanitarian assistance and disaster relief.
Once completed, the site will be adaptable to climatic weather patterns, which is one of the main plans for the project.
In the Black Rock Camp, the design and operation takes account of climate change on how to minimize and how to adapt with respect to climate change.
The facility will not only be utilized for peacekeeping services, but for humanitarian assistance and disaster relief training. Fiji will be assisted by Australia in this.
In some ways it's a recognition of Fiji's very proud tradition over 40 years of contributing to international peacekeeping, and I think both of our governments realise and recognise that is an important capability to continue to develop.
Work at the camp is scheduled to complete by the end of next year. Philip Naikaso, FBC News.
And that's a wrap from the business desk for tonight. Jamie's up next with sports.
Thanks, Rachel, and good evening in sports tonight. Acclimatization vital for Fiji Sevens. And Fiji FA to hold a major reception for Krishna. Details coming up.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Pritika from Jax Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Barring any major upsets, the race for the overall World 7 Series title should remain between Fiji and the USA. Separated by 3 points and a slightly comfortable lead over third-place New Zealand, both sides are expected to come out firing in London. Aquila Dama with the details.
This is what the top of the table looks like. It may be just 3 points difference between Fiji and USA, but finishing as #1 requires a lot of hard work.
Yes, it is important to have a good start in London, because if we win it in London, yes, there is sure that we can make it and win the series.
Fiji will have to win both the remaining tournaments or win one and finish as a runner-up in the other to stay in contention. It may not be an easy feat, but it's achievable. The Fijian captain says USA will not give up the series race without a fight.
America is at the top at the moment. They won't be an easy. They won't let go easily, and they'll fight back to be the #1 in the series.
The temperature in London for the next week will be around 16 degrees. Assistant coach Kane Jiri says the team is serious about finishing at the top, and that's one of the reasons they are leaving early.
And that's the most important thing too, is in a high-performance environment is about getting their bodies right, and it's a big time-hour difference for the players as well. It's about 10 or 11 hours. So we started that last night. We started adjusting last night, so the boys were playing pool and playing cards and enjoying each other's company late into the night, and they've had a few hours sleep to eat some breakfast on the plane now and then go back to sleep again.
The team left for London this morning without head coach Gareth Baber, who will join them on Friday. Aquila Dama, FBC Sports.
Naitasiri and Suva are the only 2 unbeaten teams in the Skipper Cup competition so far this season, while Rewa remains the only winless team going into round 4 this weekend. As the tournament heads towards the halfway mark, Fiji rugby boss John O'Connor says games are expected to become more intense. Aquila Dama reports.
After its win over Nandi last week, Naitasiri now sits at the top of the Skipper Cup table with 14 points, while Suva is on second place with 13.
I think the intensity, we can see teams playing very high-level rugby and very competitive rugby. Most of the games are won or lost by close margins. It's interesting to see Taylor and Northland contesting. They all have one each win. Surprisingly, we have Nandronga and Namosi, with 1 win.
John O'Connor says FRU took the risk 2 years ago to revise the provincial competition format, and it's slowly bearing the fruit.
So critical round, the 4th round, a few big matches up, and we'll start to see the teams shifting. But all these, when the council approved the revised format and the revised criteria, we can see that the development and the pathways are starting to bear the fruits.
Meanwhile, in this weekend's matches, Suva will play Northland, Namosi takes on Rewa, Nandronga hosts Naitasiri, and Nandi will play Tailevu. Aquila Dama, FBC Sports.
The Swai shipping Fijian Latui is ready to fly this weekend in its first global rapid rugby match. Coach Rusi Servakula says they're prepared well for the tournament and the players are ready to test out the new game format against the Pacific rival Kangifa Samoa on Saturday. Kuroi Tandulala has more.
The Latuis are adapting well to the rules of the newly introduced global rapid rugby, with the ultimate test set for Saturday.
There's not a lot of changes because that's how we play. That's how we play, and then we've capitalized a lot of rules that they use for the Latui from playing in the draw. So, but there are some changes, and the boys are adapting well to it, and more understanding from them. But it all going to be shown on Saturday.
Team captain Frank Lomani says they are ready to run into the field. However, they need to refine a few areas before the game.
We've been focusing on our fitness because it's going to be a fast and fast-paced game. So we're going to keep the ball in hand more time than kicking. I think it's going to work on our fitness. We're going to keep working hard so we can adapt on the new format of the game.
The Fijian Latui will host Kenyifa Samoa at Lautoka's Churchill Park on Saturday and will play Western Force a week later. Koroi Tandulala, FBC Sports.
Fiji Football Association President Rajesh Patel says they will hold a big reception for Roy Krishna when he arrives in the country next month.
But as far as Fiji football is concerned, we will definitely receive him and give him big reception and everything for his award and achievement. And this is what the football fraternity at large would love to see their future players also achieving this.
Injured All Blacks flanker Sam Cane, who broke his neck last October, could be rushed back into a depleted Chiefs team to face the Blues this weekend in Super Rugby. Initially due back in the next fortnight, that return could come this Saturday thanks to a smooth recovery. New Zealand Cricket's confirmed that Peter Fulton will return to the Black Caps as batting coach after the World Cup. That's it from sports tonight. You can join Angie later on with weather and in new media. A look at how robocalls are made with fake numbers. That's coming up.
मैं नवनीत नंद नंबुआ लुम्बुआ से जैसे प्रेनी नोट मशहूर है वैसे रेडियो फिजी 2 भी सभी जगह मशहूर है रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन
सीमा नकाशी से मैं रेडियो फिजी 2 पसंद करती हूँ सुनने के लिए रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन
मैं हूँ अंकल किंग सिंगाटोका टाउन के टैक्सी ड्राइवर जैसे रग्बी फेमस है वैसे
It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. A wonderful sunny day was witnessed around the nation today. On the other note, we're getting closer to the weekend, something to be excited about. Now taking a look in the west, the sun was very cheerful, I must say. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, humid here, evening bit will draw a few showers. And up north, quite comfortable, the sea especially is so vibrant. At sea, easterly winds 10 to 15 knots, moderate to rough seas. For the tides, high tide at 4:13 a.m. with low tide at 10:30 a.m. Sunrise at 6:25. For tomorrow, the weather conditions we've been waiting for some time now has been welcomed with big bulla smiles. Now let's make some good use out of it. Tomorrow's temps, Suva and Savu Savu will hit 29 degrees. And looking further on to Friday, light showers will dominate from here. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fiji and Pulse tonight, we asked, do you think Fiji will benefit from the United Nations General Secretary's visit?
Probably assist the country in achieving their long-term and short-term goals in terms of the environmental issues and other issues that relate to international treaties and conventions.
Yes, I think his visit to Fiji will benefit Fiji because he helps Fiji a lot, especially during disasters.
Yes, it will benefit Fiji. Yes, of course, in terms of climate change.
Recapping the main stories for tonight, Pacific leadership on climate change commended. UNSG praises Fiji's peacekeeping contributions and Minister apologises for anomalies in police back pay. Now for these stories and others, tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Our poll question this week, we're asking, should people stop using racist idioms? Visit our FBC website to answer. And our shot of the day, an absolutely gorgeous one sent in by Shanil Prasad, taken at the Nasese seawall right here in Suva. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj. Share it with us by Facebook, FBC News. Follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, good night.
Bula, neva ngo malakai leloma, ngo ngai nakas ondo bagrong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 na sere.
Hoya ubasit sai lambasa, ya ondo talita na barong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 na sere.
Guya do tumeli, ako na tao no hinga toka, talita kina na barong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 na sere.
Wana tunga ng Bula FM, nambang 2 na sere nawaluan.
Neva ngo fani na tao ngo singa toka, kita ondo talita ka ng Bula FM, nambang 2 na sere.
Bula FM, nambang 2 na sere.